Is Batfleck leaving the DCEU? Tell me it ain't so. Is Jake Gyllenhaal coming in to put on the cape and cowl? We don't know, but we are about to discuss it right here on Digital Charcuterie. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on this channel and making me a part of your day today. Please give this channel a subscribe. We could really use your support. We are new, we are growing. We have big aspirations here. In March, we will start to kick off some new shows. For now, it'll just be little things like this, little news tidbits. We'll still be doing those later on, but for now, that's what you will mostly be getting, and also some trailer reactions as well. Please give us a like and a subscribe. Really helps us out. Now let's talk Batfleck. I'm wearing the hat. I am actually a huge Batman fan, as pretty much everybody on the planet is. I was born in 1981. I watched Super Friends, Adam West. Those were my Batman. When Michael Keaton came in, I was thrown off guard. I was 8 years old, 9, whatever I was. Very much caught off guard, but still loved it on the basis that it was Batman. And as I grew older, I appreciated it more. And that is the honest to goodness truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that Michael Keaton was always my favorite Batman. That is not the way at all. Christopher Nolan's Batman films are absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed Batman v Superman. I'm going to come right out and say it. I said it on a previous video. I'm going to say it right here, right now. I enjoyed Batman v Superman. I have no shame in admitting that. I know there are a lot of problems. Yes, the longer version is much better, but I am fine with admitting that I like that film, but I am a sucker for Batman. Also, Man of Steel is one of my favorite superhero films, if not one of my favorite films of all time. It is what it is. Please don't leave me right now. I understand if people don't like it. It wasn't for everybody. It wasn't the fun, colorful Superman that we were all anticipating, that we all grew up with. Batman, because of Michael Keaton's Batman and obviously some of the comics, but I would suggest more so the film's tones. You kind of got a more serious Batman, where Superman has always been colorful and vibrant and smiley and, truth, justice, and the American way and all of that. So now we have Batman v Superman, and as we discussed earlier, it's been reported that Zack Snyder was actually fired from the DCEU, from Warner Brothers. They canned him. They kicked him to the curb, and they said, "Get out of our faces. You ruined everything. We should have had $1 billion franchise. Now we're struggling to stay afloat, and we don't know where our head's at." This report now is coming from Revenge of the Fans, and this is the quote that we're getting. "The present Batman is still Affleck. A change in cowl will not happen publicly until Ben is officially gone, and he is currently the Batman. But like we have said, it's a negotiation thing right now. Not money, but appearances and creative. Ben isn't wanting to vacate, but not wanting to commit fully." So it sounds like what also is being reported is that he's not happy with the state of what's happening in the DCEU. Now, I believe I heard earlier on that he, was learning from Snyder and agreeing with Snyder. And if Snyder was fired and let go, and Affleck's not happy about that, the state of the franchise could be that. Because who knows how much meddling happened in Batman v Superman? I don't think we actually know the full story. Obviously, there was a longer cut that came out. Sad Fleck, whatever it was. We've seen those videos. He hasn't been happy for a long time in this role. He wouldn't have done Batman if he didn't believe in the DCEU when he signed on. He was already Daredevil. He already shit the bed as a superhero. He's not going to come in and shit the bed once again. And now, there have been rave reviews. People have liked Ben Affleck's Batman. Personally, I liked him a lot more in Batman v Superman than I did in Justice League. I felt he was channeling a little too much Christian Bale in Justice League, but that's just my own personal opinion on that one. Going forward, I would like to see Ben Affleck as Batman only for continuity's sake. If they flashpoint it, if they reboot it, then, they could get rid of him and do whatever they want. Matt Reeves I don't think he's publicly said it. I think it's all been rumor, but he wants Jake Gyllenhaal. And Jake Gyllenhaal is the front runner in it. And in this quote, it says they will not publicly name another Batman until Ben Affleck is officially gone, which means they're talking. They are talking to Gyllenhaal. They are talking to other candidates potentially, in case Gyllenhaal's a little antsy, to replace Ben Affleck as Batman. Now, Gyllenhaal obviously is much younger than Ben Affleck, and this Matt Reeves trilogy is said to be in the DCEU, but separate from the DCEU at the same time. And if that's the case, it makes complete sense for this to be a younger version of him, like Solo to Star Wars. It's a younger version of Batman. I can get behind that, whatever. I like the idea of a shared universe. What I don't like is pigeonholing yourselves to an idea. If Matt Reeves comes in, he says, actually, you know what? Forget Matt Reeves. Bring in Christopher Nolan. Let's say Christopher Nolan comes in. He's like, I have an idea for Batman. It's Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. And let's say he pitched all three of them at once. He would be turned down because it wouldn't fit in to whatever slop they're having going through right now. Is that the right way to do business? I don't know. The idea of a shared universe is fantastic, but it should be a minor share. It should be Batman Begins exists, and it exists with Man of Steel because Metropolis is down the street. And that's all that really needs to be in there. So sometimes you try to over-suffocate everybody with, in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, they had to have the Dawn of Justice in there. I thought Wonder Woman fit in fine. But then they're like, oh, look, I found a file on a computer. Click, oh, Aquaman. Click Cyborg. Oh, click Flash. Unnecessary. You don't worry about it. I actually thought it was a great idea for them to not go the individual film route at the beginning. I thought, yes, have the Justice League start it all off. But then they kind of backpedaled and they put them in Batman v Superman. Look, we know all of those characters. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, top 3 superheroes of all time. You could put Spider-Man up there as well. But in DC, they have the 3 big ones, the Holy Trinity, they call them. That's the big 3. And somehow they're failing to get that across. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to sit and spend money and pay attention to these movies, especially when you go into Justice League and you're like, well, Ben Affleck's not going to be back, so what's the point of watching this? If they replace Ben Affleck, they either do it in a way where Jake Gyllenhaal plays a younger Batman, or they say, screw it, Jake Gyllenhaal is just Batman, and they do the Flashpoint thing. Because Flashpoint is their out. They have a huge out right there, and I don't think they're above doing it. They don't seem to be above doing anything right now. What's interesting is what's keeping Ben Affleck. It's not the money. Obviously, he's getting paid a decent penny to be in these movies. It's the appearances and creative. He wants to have a hand in it. He was supposed to write and direct the Batman standalone film. That never happened. Matt Reeves got hired to come in there to do it. His script got poo-pooed away. He's frustrated. He's artistic. He wants to direct his last movie. Didn't fare very well by critics or an audience. Didn't make a lot at the box office. Ben Affleck is in a rut. Batman should get him out of a rut, but for some reason it is drowning him worse than quicksand in the never-ending story. All right, guys, so that's it. Do you think Jake Gyllenhaal will make a better Batman than Ben Affleck? Do you like Ben Affleck? Do you think he needs to just suck it up and be Batman for the next 10 years? Or do you say, hey, you know what? It was a mistake making Batman a 40-something-year-old to begin with. He should be in his 30s. Give him at least 10 more movies. He is not Iron Man. He's not Robert Downey Jr. This is an established character, whereas Iron Man was someone, vaguely... I think audiences had a vague idea who Iron Man was. Hardcores obviously did. But Batman, everybody across the board knows who Batman is. We've had Batman movies for the last 30 years we've had Batman movies. We had the Adam West show in the 60s. Batman has been a part of culture since, I'm going to say, the beginning of time, because I don't even know what happened before Batman. So that's where I stand. Now, where do you guys stand at? Please let us know. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Comment below. Means a lot. See you next time, guys, and have yourself a great and healthy week.